That way I'll be always off.
Remember, dead in the center.
Dead in the center.
That's where we look.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
You sure? Hi. Welcome to Fantasy Awash. Once again joined by Mr. Fantasy Awash, aka Mr. Worldwide. It's going to be Pitbull again. Get ready.
Again, we gotta find something different than Pitbull.
It's Pitbull.
Outcast, Mr. Whole World.
It's Pitbull.
Mr. Worldwide, T-Pain.
Okay.
So today we are going to be talking about 5 books. We narrowed it. Josh made me narrow it down to 5.
You had, not only did you have like 14, but they were all series.
Yeah.
You're basically laying out your entire 2024 reading list.
And that's fine. If you just heard a thunk, that was a cat jumping down. And I and Josh today are going to talk about
I and Josh. Are you Bob Marley? I plant the corn?
Maybe. So today we are going to be talking about 5 books or series that we are excited to read in 2024. Also going to talk about writing goals because we are both writing and have goals for 2024 and just a few channel goals for the next year. So let's jump into talking about what books we are most excited for 2024. Would you like to begin?
I'll begin.
Books? Sure.
Okay, so
are we going in order of excitement or just general?
I was generally going in progressively increasing order of excitement.
Okay, mine's random as per usual.
Okay.
So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Carry on.
All right, I am beginning with Song of Ice and Fire reread that Laura and I have loosely committed to.
I'm definitely doing it.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be my 6th time through, and each time the first 5 I pick up new stuff. Obviously the first time you pick up some new stuff, but the other 4 rereads I've picked up some new stuff.
Hi.
Hi guys. I was tempted to say Winds of Winter just to put that out there in the universe, but I'll look back in a year and just be sorely disappointed for like I have been for the last 10 years.
I am going to say The Age of Madness trilogy by Mr. Joe Abercrombie. If you watched our last video, which I'll link, I talked about how, for both of us, The Blade itself was one of our top 5 books of the year, and I loved it so much. Galacta is my favorite forever. I need to finish the standalones before I can jump into Age of Madness, but I have been told by many booktube people that they actually prefer Age of Madness to First Law, so I'm excited to read it. Plus, how can you go wrong with Joe Abercrombie? You just can't. He's a gem.
So that leads me into my 4th, which is The Trouble with Peace, also by Joe Abercrombie, which I was recently informed is part of a trilogy of standalones. So it's not really a trilogy.
No, it's not part of the standalones. It is part of the second trilogy.
It's a book by a Joe Abercrombie, and I'm going to read it. The first one of whatever this is was not quite as good as the Blade itself.
Best Served Cold.
Best Served Cold, which I thought was lacking in some pretty key areas that Abercrombie usually is strong in. So I'm looking forward to this book, both in terms of the fact that I really enjoyed the First Law trilogy, but also because I am hopeful that this book is a little closer to what I read in the First Law series and not in Best Served Cold.
So basically, we're both excited for the Age of Madness trilogy is what this roundabout thing came about to be. Okay, I'm excited to read Stormlight 5, which we now have a title for, and it's called Winds in Truth. So I think it's the worst title of the bunch. It's fine.
It sounds like a movie on Sci-Fi at 2 p.m. on a Sunday.
A little bit, but I'm still super excited. I am about 27% through Rhythm of War, and I am so close to finishing the Cosmere. I am also about 20% through Dawnshard, and then I've got Sunlit Man, and then I'm caught up. So then it's Stormlight 5, baby, and I'm ready.
I wonder if someone got you Sunlit Man for Christmas.
I know already. I saw it come in.
She hawked that package.
Yes, I did.
All right, so number 3 on my list is Augustus by John Williams. This is a book that has been recommended on this channel a number of times before.
Yes.
It's a historic fiction, but it's pretty historic for historic fiction. It's written in epistolary format, which is, I believe, is going to be the first real book that I've read like that. So I'm looking forward to both the historical aspects of it as well as just the format overall.
I am excited next for Realm of the Elderlings because people go on and on and on about Robin Hobb being so great and her character work being so great. And I guess I'm going to have to join that group of people that hopefully love Robin Hobb. So I've been told, though, that it's traumatic with animal stuff. And if it's not clear, I am quite fond of animals, so I don't know how well this read is going to go for me, but alas, I'm excited to give it a go because it is a big series. I love finding a big series that's finished. Josh can attest. I'm a binger. I love finding a good completed series, be it of TV or books. It's the best. I love
That'd be
it
a
so
TV show with 100 episodes, and 3 days later, somehow you're done with it.
Yeah, that was pre-kid, but not anymore.
All right, so number 2 on my list is The Dragon's Path by Daniel Abraham. Daniel Abraham is half of the pen name James S.A. Corey, along with Ty Frank. They are the co-writers of the Expanse series, which was, of course, translated into a show that I very much enjoyed. And I think we're through 2 episodes in a year, and Laura does not enjoy it that much.
It, unfortunately. I enjoyed the one character immensely.
Avasarala.
She's amazing. Love her.
But I'm looking forward to his take on high fantasy. His take on sci-fi was excellent. I love the characters. I love the pacing. I love the story. So I'm very hopeful that this will be it's also a completed fantasy series. It was completed, I think, in 6 years, 5 books, 6 years.
That's pretty ambitious.
Well,
Set the standard.
Well, he did. I mean,
yeah.
Patrick Rothfuss is 2 books in
a lot of years.
How many decades? And George Martin is
leading that charge.
Doing whatever George Martin does.
Yep.
So hopefully they can take a cue from Daniel Abraham and start writing again.
Okay, next on my list is Malazan. I have been also told by multiple BookTube people that they think I might really like Malazan or that I might really dislike Malazan. So it's kind of a toss-up at this point, but I am excited to try it. I have been told that the first book isn't necessarily indicative of the entire series, Gardens of the Moon. And I generally give a series 2 books no matter what, unless I absolutely hate the first book, in which case I won't go back. But I didn't love Way of Kings, and then I went back to Stormlight Archive, and now it's one of my favorites of all time. So that's what giving a series 2 books can do for you, just saying.
I gave Way of Kings 2 pages.
Yes, you did. But we'll see what happens with that eventually. But for now, I am excited to try Malazan. I know that it is a heavy read and it will not be an audiobook read. It'll be a physical book read for sure. Have it on the shelf waiting to be read. It's been there since March. It's going to be good.
Speaking of on the shelf, somewhere up around there is Last Light of the Sun by Guy Gavriel. As you may have... Hi, guys. As you may have heard, we just had another cat incident. As you may have heard from our last video, Laura gave me Lines of Alberson for Christmas last year, and that really was my gateway drug to GGK, who I think is pretty much on par with George Martin as the best writer I've ever read. So I'm looking forward to another entry in his historical fantasy series that takes place in near analog to our medieval Europe. I believe this one takes place in roughly 9th or 10th century England with the Viking invasions. So this is, I've heard, his most ambitious work. I'm not quite sure what qualifier makes it ambitious compared to his other works. I was a little scared to delve deeper because I don't want any spoilers.
I wonder if it's historical elements, if there's just more factual stuff that he's incorporated.
Maybe there's actual
dates
people as well.
Yeah, because just thinking to Lions
had some loose associations.
Loose associations, same with Arbonne, but no direct names. So maybe that's, I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So GGK. I'm looking forward to that. That's probably going to be one of my earliest reads this year because I'm champing at the bit to read more, and I'm trying to take it slowly because he's a prolific writer, but he's not Brandon Sanderson. He's not doing 17 books a year. So I'm going to try to savor it once every few months and we'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to read them all by February.
The final book of my top 5, because Josh made me make it a top 5, is...
top 14 doesn't really have a ring to it.
I mean, it's fine for me. It's just not fine for the algorithm or for Josh, but that's fine. So I want to read The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. It's going to be my first Mark Lawrence book. He is a champion of self-pub authors, Mark Lawrence. He has a competition every year that goes absolutely wild, SPFBO. And from what I've heard, this has been one of their top 5 books of the year. This year, I bought it when it came out. Life just got in the way and I had a Cosmere to read through. So I am going to be getting there pretty soon, next year, I think. I might even get there at the end of this month, and it'll be part of 2023, but who knows? I'm excited to read The Book That Wouldn't Burn because it looks great, takes place in a library, love a library story. All my Doctor Who fans, go watch Silence in the Library. So good. So good. It's the introduction to River Song. 10 out of 10. That's right.
All right.
Yeah. Well, now for the really fun content of what are your writing goals for 2024?
This is what we call the universal applicability to everyone watching.
Yes.
My writing goals are to finish the majority of my novel.
And what type of novel?
So I'm writing I guess we'd call it fairly... No, it can't be low fantasy. When we had this discussion, and some people regard low fantasy as taking place in our world, and this one certainly doesn't.
I would say it's high fantasy in that it's a different world with low magic.
Okay, there we go. So a lot of if A's then B's there.
Yes.
But it's it takes place in a world like that.
It's GGK-esque, I would say. In terms of...
If only my writing could be anything like that,
I would say in terms of there being minimal magic, it's GGK-esque, and also analogies to real world stuff. Okay. Yeah.
So that's what I'm writing. So my goal is to get hopefully 60% into finalized rough draft form. I don't know if that's an oxymoron, but if it is, it is. If it's not, it's not. But I want to have maybe 60% of the chapters ready to be read by other people and edited, and I want to have maybe another 15% of the chapters outlined with pretty significant writing done on them. How about you?
I hope to be done with my book by February. So that's coming up pretty soon. I would say that I've got probably about 15,000 words left, and I'm pretty much done. I'm writing a satirical sci-fi, and it's been super fun. I've loved writing it. My hope is to have it done and in its edited format probably by June, and then start seeing if I can get it traditionally published. And if I can't, I would like to perhaps have it self-pubbed by this time next year. So we will see, but I'm putting that out into the universe as kind of set guidelines now. So if you're in the comments or watching, you can ask me how it's going to keep me accountable, because it's hard to keep yourself accountable when you're not a full-time writer. But it's been a super fun experience. We've had a great writing group. I'm going to actually tag the people that are in our writing group because they also have YouTube channels, but there's Mary, there's Chris Nabo, and Caleb. So we've had a great year writing with them. We started in August. I started my story in August, I want to say. And it's coming along. It's going to be... I've already surpassed the length of what Hitchhikers is. So I'd say it's probably going to end up being in the realm of 15 to 20,000 words longer than Hitchhikers, if you're familiar. Same sort of vein as a Hitchhikers or Terry Pratchett in terms of humor and the notes that I'm hoping to hit. But it's been really fun reading it. I've loved one of my characters' voices in particular. He's a really funny guy. So hopefully you guys will be able to read it at some point, maybe next year. And if it gets traditionally published at some point during my lifetime, who knows? In terms of channel updates, I would like to keep doing more lives with people. I just had a great chat with Jimmy Nuts a couple of days ago. I want to do more stuff with Mr. Fantasy Awash.
Mr. Worldwide.
He can find time for me, and I would like to have more love bomb chats in general. I really love having people onto the channel to talk about stuff that they love. I think that there's a lot of negativity in the world right now, and it is a good time to just sit down, talk about what you love, books, TV, film, food, I don't really care. If you love it and it's good, then it's fine to talk about. But want to do more of that. I'm also hoping to dig deeper into my religion and fantasy work because there's so much. Every fantasy book basically has a religious system. It's usually tied to magic in some way, shape, or form. And with the reread that we're hopefully going to be doing for A Song of Ice and Fire, that's got a plethora of content as well as Cosmere works. And I've been told that Malazan also has some interesting religious aspects. So I'm excited for that.
That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the part about A Song of Ice and Fire reread.
I agree. Well, if this is your first time stopping by, thanks for hanging out with us for the last little bit. If you want to help support my channel and occasionally Josh's channel, you can hit like and subscribe and leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you are most excited to read in 2024. If you have any writing goals, if there's someone that you think would make a really great guest for a love bomb chat, please let me know down in the comments. I'm pretty much game to talk to anybody. And if you'd like to follow me on Instagram and all these other fun types of places, you can find me at Fantasy Awash. I have everything linked in the description. And we hope that you have a wonderful holiday season filled with love, books, and writing, and whatever it is you want, including cat cuddles. We'll see you next time. Bye.